Hi, yogis, and welcome from my home to yours. For our practice today, we will be doing a series for anxiety. So we'll begin lying on our backs, making your way down onto your mat, taking your time to arrive here. And we'll keep the soles of the feet planted down, a little bit wider than hip distance, and the knees knocking in towards one another. Our palms will come to rest on top of the belly, maybe the thumb close to the lowest rib and the pinky in towards the top of our hip. As we begin to tune into our breath, just noticing if you're breathing in through the nose or the mouth, feeling the chest, ribs, and belly begin to expand. And on the exhale, navel draws in towards the spine, ribs begin to knit together. Maybe feeling the sides of the ribs expanding, and even into the back body, the low back, low ribs, and in between the shoulder blades. Observing what sensations are coming up here. And as we observe the breath, letting it come at its own natural rhythm and pace, I invite you to use your breath as a guide for our practice today. Maybe observing in any moments when we hold the breath, can we come back to this natural state of breathing? Your natural rhythm and pace. And taking your time to feel really grounded through the body. Maybe feeling the length of the spine rooted down towards your mat. Feeling this gentle weight of the palms on the belly. The rise and fall of our breath. We'll heel toe the feet in, drawing one knee in and then the other. Palms can either come behind the thighs or the tops of the shins, gently rocking from side to side, getting into our low back, and just noticing any sensations coming up here. Feeling the shoulders resting down on the mat. We'll interlace the fingers over top of our left shin, plant the right sole of the foot down. On our inhale, feel the belly expand towards the left thigh. And on the exhale, maybe the knee draws a little bit closer. Option here to extend the right heel to the top of your mat if this is available today. And then rooting through the back of the heel, back of the knee. Feeling this line of energy from the sole of the right foot all the way through to the crown of the head. Maybe observing what sensations are coming up through the hips and the legs. And on your exhale, maybe the knee draws just a little bit closer. Release the left sole of the foot back to the mat, and then inhale, draw the right knee in. Interlace the fingers over top of the shin. Checking in to see if the side feels a little bit different. Maybe the left sole stays rooted on the mat, or option 2, extend the left heel up to the top of your mat. Toes flex in towards the knees. Feeling that line of energy from the left sole of the foot to the crown of the head. And then on our inhales, feeling the belly expand. And exhale, maybe our right knee draws in just a little bit closer. Noticing if this side feels a little different. Know that that's okay. And then we'll release the right sole of the foot back down, bend through the left knee, plant the sole of the foot down onto the mat. We're going to inhale, shifting the hips up and over towards the left side of our mat. Inhale to draw the knees in towards the chest. And on the exhale, the knees are going to drop over towards the right side of our mat. You can extend the arms out wide into a T if you have the space. If not, bending at the elbows, creating 90 degrees or cactus arms. Third option is for the right palm to come to rest on top of the left knee as the left arm draws up and overhead. So our main focus here is on allowing our left shoulder to draw towards the mat, opening through the chest. And breathing in through the left side of the ribs. Option 2, bring a pillow or a block between the knees if you find that they're really far away from the earth today. Or maybe allowing the body to work with gravity. Seeing if we can relax the legs down towards the earth. Our left shoulder continues to intend down. On our exhales, maybe feeling the softness through the belly. As we begin to relax. Inhale, the knees are going to come back through to center. Plant the soles of the feet down onto the mat. Inhale, shift the hips up and over towards the right. And then draw the knees in towards the chest. On our exhale, the knees are dropping over towards the left. Arms will extend out into the variation that works best for your body. And then maybe we find that block underneath or between the knees. Maybe a pillow. And then allowing our right shoulder to rest down towards the earth. Breathing in through the right side of the ribs. Softening through the belly. And just noticing if this side feels a little different. What sensations are coming up here? On your next inhale, knees come back through to center, soles of the feet plant down. Shift the hips back to neutral and the arms will come beside the body, palms facing down. Feet are about hip distance apart, and then imagine that you could graze the backs of the heels with the tips of the fingers, and it's okay if they don't. On our inhale, maybe lifting all 10 toes up and away from the mat, and then rooting them back down. And on an inhale, tucking the tailbone, begin to lift the hips up and away from the mat. Imagine that you are drawing the knees towards the front of the room, maybe tucking the chin in towards the chest. And imagine the bottom rib knitting in towards the top of your hip. So the navel draws in towards the spine. And seeing if we can keep that soft, steady breath. Feeling really grounded and rooted through the feet. Glutes are engaged. And then exhale, lower the hips back down to the mat. Inhale to draw one knee in and then the other. Palms come behind the thighs. We'll begin to rock along the spine if it feels comfortable in the body today. If not, rocking over to your side. And we'll meet up in a comfortable seat, taking your time to arrive at the top of your mat. And as we arrive at the top, we'll stack our hips with our pelvis, ribs, and then soften the shoulders away from the ears. Palms can rest on top of the knees or the thighs. And then drop the chin in towards the chest, drawing the chin over towards the left side, back in towards center, and then over towards the right. Just noticing what sensations are coming up through the back line of the neck. Feeling this length through the spine. An option to pause on one side or the other if you feel a really juicy spot. Next, inhale, chin comes back through to center. And then inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, palms together at heart center. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, palms together and down. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, palms together and down. Last one, inhale and exhale. Inhale, arms reach out and up. And on the exhale, palms plant down to the mat, fingers spread wide, rooting through the knuckle pads of the fingers. We'll stack our wrists with our shoulders and knees underneath the hips. So taking your time and just checking in with any sensations coming up through the knees. Maybe the toes tuck underneath to alleviate any pressure from the knees, or tops of the feet can root down. Rooting through the index finger and the thumb, elbows draw in towards one another. Option if the wrists are feeling sensitive to come up onto fists. Otherwise, fingers spread wide, palms are planted down. On our inhale, tailbone tilts up, belly draws towards the mat, chin and chest to lift. Exhale, rounding through the spine, shoulder blades draw away, gaze back towards the thighs. Moving with your breath, inhale, tailbone tilts up, belly draws towards the mat, chin and chest to lift. Exhale, tailbone tucks, rounding through the spine, gazing back. And just finding your own rhythm and pace. Maybe observing any areas of the spine that move with a little more ease, and any areas of our spine that move with a little more effort today. Tuck the toes underneath, and on an inhale, begin to reach the sit bones up, press the thighs back. We're finding our first downward facing dog and taking our time to settle into our foundation here. Feet are hip distance apart, intending the heels down towards the mat. Maybe we generously bend through the knees to find some length through the spine. Or maybe finding a little bit of movement, pedaling out the knees and the feet. Taking any movement here that feels really great through the body. On an inhale, reach the left leg up and back. On the exhale, draw the left knee in towards the chest. Plant the foot between the palms. Lower the right knee down. On our inhale, we'll reach the arms up towards the sky. Checking in with your foundation here, maybe keeping the right toes tucked underneath. Checking that the left ankle and knee are stacked. Drawing the right hip forward and the left hip in. Take another inhale here. And exhale. Inhale. And on the exhale, opening the arms up towards the left side of our mat. So navel draws in towards the spine. Imagine the thighs drawing in towards one another. Then on our inhale, arms will reach back up towards center. And on the exhale, palms plant down to the mat, framing our left foot. We'll tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, and step the right foot all the way up to meet the left. Inhale for our halfway lift, palms to shins or thighs, neutral spine. And then exhale, soft bend of the knees as we fold forward. Catching for opposite elbows, finding a gentle rock from side to side. Head grows heavy, back of the neck is soft. On our inhale, begin to rise up. Arms will stay heavy. Slight bend of our knees. And as we reach the top, draw the shoulders up towards the ears and then down the back. Arms come beside the body, palms facing forward. Feeling really grounded through the feet. And feeling this line of energy from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. On our inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, palms together at heart center. Hinge from the hips, bend through the knees. Palms will plant down to the mat. And then option here to walk, step, or hop to the back of your mat. Inhaling through plank. And then on our exhale, sit bones reach up, thighs press back, downward facing dog. Settling into your foundation. And then inhale, right leg reaches up and back. Exhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest, planting the foot between the palms. Lower the left knee down. Inhale, arms sweep up, stacking our right ankle and knee. Thighs are drawing in. Take an inhale. And on our exhale, arms will open up towards the right side this time. So navel draws in towards the spine as we twist open. Maybe the side feels a little different, and that's okay. Keeping the chin in line with the chest as we check in with our breath. Take another inhale and exhale. Inhale, arms to sweep up. And then exhale, palms plant down to the mat. Frame the right foot, tuck the left toes, reach the left knee up, and then step the left foot all the way up to meet the right. Inhale for your halfway lift, neutral spine. Exhale, fold, finding that soft bend of the knees. We'll catch for opposite elbows and gently rock from side to side. And then inhale, slowly rising up, arms remain heavy. Head to rise up last. Inhale, shoulders up, Bend down, palms face towards the front of the room. We'll take an inhale and exhale. Inhale, arms will reach up. Exhale, palms together at heart center as we hinge from the hips. Bend through the knees, palms to plant down to the mat. And step one foot back and then the other, inhaling through our plank. And then exhale, sit bones reach up, thighs press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back. Exhale, draw the left knee in towards the chest. Foot plants between the palms. We're pivoting our right foot to come parallel to the back of our mat. And then slowly inhale, the right arm up and overhead as our left arm draws towards the front of the room. Hands can come to hips, and we'll take the bend out of our left knee, pivot the left foot to come parallel to the top of our mat, maybe adjusting the feet just a little bit here, either wider or narrower, depending on how it feels through the hips. And then our hands will stay on the hips. Heels draw towards the back of your mat, so opening them up, and toes will draw in just a little bit. Hands on our hips. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. And then exhale, hinge from the hips. Begin to reach forward, folding forward. And then palms will plant down to the mat. You can adjust the feet here to either be parallel or continuing to intend the toes in. Maybe the palms reach for the ankles if this feels comfortable in the body, or option to keep both palms of the hands on the mat. Coming back to our breath. Just softening here. On our inhale, plant both palms back down to the mat. We're going to walk them over towards our left foot, pivot the toes to come parallel to the top of your mat, and then walking the palms to frame the left foot, pivot onto the tippy tops of the right toes, and then step the left foot back to meet the right. Inhale through our plank, and then exhale, sit bones reach up, thighs press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up and back. Exhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest, plant the foot between the palms, pivot the left foot to come parallel to the back of your mat, and then inhale, left arm reaches up and overhead as our right arm draws towards the front of our room. This time we're taking the bend out of the right knee, foot comes parallel to the top of our mat, checking in with either widening the distance of the feet or shortening the distance depending on how this feels through the hips. The heels can intend towards the back corners of our mat, and the toes point in. Inhale, feeling that length through the spine, and then exhale, hinge from the hips. Palms can plant down to the mat. So checking in with how this feels through the ankles, the knees, and the hips. Option to keep the palms planted on the mat, or maybe the palms catch for the outsides of the ankles. Feeling the belly soften, and allowing the head to grow heavy. Noticing if we're holding any tension in the jaw, and can we let that go? Inhale, palms plant down to the mat. We're walking the feet up towards the top of our mat, pivoting the right toes to come parallel to the top, framing our right foot, and then exhale, step the right foot back to meet the left. Inhale through our plank, and then exhale, bend the knees, plant them onto the mat. Tops of the feet come to the mat, hips back towards the sit bones, and then arms will come alongside the body, palms facing up. Our forehead can come to rest down onto the mat if that feels comfortable through the body. Option to bring a block or a pillow underneath the forehead, and just allowing the belly to soften towards the thighs. Always option to widen the knees and bring the arms forward if this doesn't feel comfortable in the body. While we're here, imagining the breath like a wave through the spine. Our inhales through the low back, and exhaling all the way down to the neck. And then walk one palm forward, the other. We'll wave the spine forward. And then coming down onto one forearm, palms facing down, the other forearm, and then extending the legs back. If the low back is feeling sensitive, feet will come wider than hip distance. If not, keeping them as they are, bringing the elbows out towards the sides of the mat, and the forehead will come to rest down on top of the palms. Feeling the belly root down towards the mat. Maybe noticing the breath. And we'll cactus our left arm and the right, finding a 90-degree bend. Our left ear will come to rest down onto the mat. And then drawing the right knee in towards the body, only as much as it feels comfortable through the right hip. So maybe the right hip and the knee are in line. Maybe we keep the hip a little more rooted down. And just softening in towards the earth. And then we'll extend the right foot back. Switching ears, our right ear will come down to the mat. And then slowly the left knee will draw in towards the body. And just meeting it where our body is in this moment. So maybe the knee draws a little bit closer. Maybe it's a little further on this side, and that's okay. Still feeling the softness of the belly. And then extending our left heel back towards our mat. We'll plant the left palm down onto the mat. Extend your right arm all the way over to the left side of the mat. We're coming up onto our right hip and then rolling onto our back. So maybe bending through the knees, planting the feet down onto the mat, shifting the hips over, and then palms will rest on top of the belly, extending one heel towards the outer edge, and then the other. And just beginning to settle in here. Coming back to your breath and noticing whether it's changed since the beginning of class. Maybe it has, and maybe it hasn't, and that's okay. Connecting into all the parts of our body that are rooted down towards our mat. And feeling grounded and supported by our mat and the earth beneath us. Option to close down the eyes or soften the gaze. And just beginning to scan through the body, starting with the top of the head, the forehead, feeling this gentle weight to the eyes and the cheeks, and the jaw, softening all the muscles through the face. Scanning down the neck, down the length of the arms, the length of the spine. And then we'll roll over onto our right side, taking your time to arrive here, using the arms to support you up into a seat. We'll bring one palm over heart center, then the other. Inhale to lengthen out through the spine. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today. It was an honor to guide you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.